I'd listened to a couple podcasts with Tony Gilroy talking about all of this stuff, like where it came from. And then like one data point was that he like explicitly drew inspiration from the Battle of Algiers. The idea of like the hustling street urchin guy who ends up killing a cop, or runs afoul of the law and then like very quickly transforms into like one of the more militant revolutionary types. And you can kind of see that archetype, even though by the end of episode 3, we're not quite there yet.
He's still not there yet.
Yeah. And then the company town aspect of all of this, I think I'm obsessed low-key with stories that situate people inside instruments of empire or like institutions of empire, like the East India Company and that kind of shit. Like when there's shows that show how they work, because they're apparatuses of evil, it is morbid curiosity on my part, possibly. I don't know.
It's interesting you say East India Company, because I think kind of what makes Star Wars interesting, and particularly this show, is that you can go both backward and forward as far as analogies go. Like there is an East India Company element to it, but it's also anticipating Blackwater dystopia
private
that
contract,
we're quickly descending into now, and the dream of so many of these Silicon Valley titans is to basically just own entire cities and entire regions of the world and just fully securitize them, militarize them, and then just like exploit the hell out of anyone who is within or actually also without of those borders.
The nature of a galactic empire, or like, I mean, any empire, I suppose, but like the galaxy is pretty fucking big, and you see the kinds of dilemmas of governance that creates, where the company state function becomes essential. The private contractor becomes essential because it's like, this is too much terrain spatially to like actually control. So you have to outsource, you have to have, what are those fucking pirates, the privateer kind of, shit. In a lot of empires, like with American Empire, it was private sector interests that were colonizing like Hawaii, and it was the flag following trade in a sense. And so it's like these mining companies or whatever go out into the galaxy. It's the Galactic Empire sort of following suit. And what we see in, I guess the planet is Ferrix, where Andor's like friends and family are, or where he works or whatever. And it's this colony planet that's run by Primor, which is I guess Primor is the de facto ruler of this planet. But the fuck up that happens, I guess we'll get to it, the fuck up that happens in episode 2 of this series, it leads to the Galactic Empire deciding that like their political interests in positive control of Ferrix has been activated. So whereas they had outsourced governance to this company, the company fucked it up, which makes the Empire look like it can't control things, and therefore they have to come down with totalitarianism or whatever. And then the oppression, there's this dialectic of like imperial oppression gets worse, and as the repression gets worse, the rebellion starts to cohere. A hopeful sign for the future for us, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, thinking of where we are.